Welcome to Walking with Jesus Bible Study. We are going to be in the book of Job, chapter 7, verse 11. Therefore, I will not refrain my mouth. I will speak in the anguish of my spirit. I will complain in the bitterness of my soul. And I'm going to repeat that. Therefore, I will not refrain my mouth. I will speak in the anguish of my spirit. I will complain in the bitterness of my soul. You know, God knows all. He sees all. He knows your heart, most definitely. He knows what you're going through. He knows what you need. He knows what you're going to ask for. And most importantly, His commandment says, thou shalt not lie. So when we come to Him in prayer, just like Job here, he's losing everything. Just back to back. Things are just going on and his world's crazy. It's upside down. It's one horrific thing and then another. And then another horrific thing. It's just not stopping. It's just pure hell. If hell could be upon this earth at that moment, that was what he was going through. He was going through hell because it wasn't stopping. Most people in their lifetime couldn't handle the one thing that Job had happened to him. Yet every 2 minutes or every 5 minutes, he was having another horrific ordeal that most people could not survive one, and it was just back to back. His livelihood, his children, his servants, his animals, everything. When we go through so much horrific, even if it's just 1 or 2 or 3, when we're going through these things in our life, when we go to God in prayer, it's okay. It's okay to complain to Him. Give Him your heart. He knows what's in your heart. He knows what's in your mind. So when you pray, you've got to be honest. Don't be a hypocrite. We're not supposed to lie. I mean, even when we come around people, you know, people are so cruel. People are so cruel. So a lot of times we don't feed them all of our personal information because people tend to use that against you, or they turn it and talk crap about you, just as his friends did. Oh, I knew he wasn't an upright man. I knew he was just an evil person, and God is punishing him because he has done such evil things, and this is proof of it. Otherwise, God wouldn't be taking all these things from him, but it was quite the opposite. In fact, when Satan come before God, when he showed him, hey, have you considered my servant Job? He is good. He is righteous. There's nothing wrong with this man. Put him through the test. And see, that's what's wrong when people gossip. God says it very much, a lot throughout the Bible, that we are not to gossip and we are not to tell lies. In fact, gossiping is a form of lying. Even if the gossip that started came through one partial truth, the fact that you are using it as a gossip, it makes it a lie. Why? Because when people tend to gossip, they exaggerate the truth. They add on. And that makes it a lie. And so when they tell that exaggerated lie to this specific person, that person goes and does the same thing to another person. It is no longer the truth. It is all lies now. Sometimes what is being gossiped isn't the truth at all, because people cannot see the truth. They just see the outward part of it. Just as Job's friends sat there in silence, it seems like that they was going to be the best friends. They was doing the correct thing. In fact, when somebody's going through some loss, you don't need to say nothing at all. Just be quiet and just be there. Man, when I'm going to tell you right now, when I went through the loss of my husband when he was killed, I wanted to punch a lot of people in the face, and I almost did. because the words that came out of their mouth were such lies and fakeness. And Lord have mercy, if one more person had told me one more time, it's okay, you are young, you will find somebody. If that came out of one more person's mouth, I would have just lost it. I would have gone postal if I had the ability to do so. Who in the right mind, in the moment of just losing their husband or their loved one, wants to hear you could go find somebody else. When people lose somebody they dearly love, they don't want nobody else. They want them. They can't see past that. So it's insane to think that you're comforting somebody by saying such nonsense. It drove me nuts. I mean, there's all kinds of things that I could go a list on the things that you should not say to people when they lose someone, because there is a list, and it seems to be a common thing that people love to tell and love to repeat to somebody, because you don't just, if it was just coming out of one person's mouth, I could probably let it go. But the amount of people that repeat the same things is like a total 10. It's like I don't know, it's like a package deal. Just like when you're in the military, they don't have the time to correctly diagnose you. They got a package A, B, and C of medicine. When you first come in, or you got these things, here's package H, take that, then it'll work, then let's go with package C. So it's like a automatic package deal that people just love to say to you. And it's insane, because the very top 10 things that people tell you to comfort you is the things that make you want to lose your ever-loving mind. And it don't make sense to me. Who thought of these things? Who these people have never lost a day in their life. And if they did, they didn't truly love that person, because you would never say such things. So you would think that these people, that Job's friend was going to be the best of friends during that time, just by sitting there and being quiet. Oh, but the moment they open up their mouths, if they wasn't the backstabbing, two-faced friends ever. And see, a lot of times, most of our dear and closest friends, when it comes to situations like this, we get to see who truly is your family, who truly is your friends, because you'll be surprised at the stuff that comes out of your family members' mouth. The things they think about, the things that they obviously, because whatever they think about and what they truly care about shows immediately in the way they comfort you, and what is their main thought by the questions and the comments they say to you. And it's so sad, because it's so obvious that you're like, wow, so that's what's truly in your heart, because you seem to be asking about that, and that's all you seem to care about. It comes, man, I'm telling you. A lot of people think that they lose that loved one that died, but in reality, they get an eye awakening of just who is 100% in their lives. And trust me, you lose more than just your loved ones. Thank goodness that when I lost, and I guess, I don't know, when I lost my husband, I wasn't real close with my family, or didn't have too much of anybody, because if these would have been close people of mine, wow, the things that they had said. And see, Job's friends automatically, because of, you could tell that they was complete jealous of his life. And I'm telling you, it comes out a lot of people, the jealousy. See, they was secretly jealous of Job. So that very moment that bad things come to him, you could tell the jealousy was coming out. Why? Oh, I knew he wasn't like that. See, God is punishing you, and this is why these things are happening to you. The jealousy. And that's exactly what happened to Job's friend. Jealousy. And see, even though he was going through all this, even when he was speaking to his friends, he still wasn't blaming God, but he was saying, why? Why me? I know I wasn't like that. I know I wasn't being this bad person. I know I wasn't doing this. And all those friends kept saying, yes, you are. Yes, you are. It says so. We've known, we've been taught that. God is punishing you. And so we have taught that from generation to generation, that God punishes people. It's not Judgment Day. If you read the scriptures correctly, we don't get judged for certain things until the Judgment Day comes. But God will correct us. He will guide us and He will lead us. And we will go through trials and we will go through tribulation. Too many people's got it twisted, thinking that His chosen people will not go through tribulation. That is a lie. It never not once says that in the scriptures. In fact, it says we will go through tribulation. We will suffer. We will be right along with the people. We will be tested. The whole book of Job is an example that once saved, not always saved, that the devil is coming after us. And what does it say the devil comes to do? To kill, steal, and destroy. And who is he trying to kill? Your relationship with you. He can't kill you. It says so right in the Bible. He does not have permission to lay a hand on you, but he can do everything else but that. So, but he's come to kill your relationship with God so that you can curse him and blame him. And he'll use any and everybody in your path, including family members, friends, to make you do so. This verse is telling you that it's okay to come to God in your pain. When we're going through so much pain, we can get down and we can cry, we can get mad, and we can scream and yell. That's when it's okay to not check and have and the manner in which you come to God in prayer, because He knows what you're going through. And you're supposed to come to Him when you're happy, when you're excited. Woo! Man, you just shout and you jump up and down, thank you, Jesus, and you do a little dance. Same thing when you're mad because something has happened as horrific as losing a loved one or this or that. God, why me? Why this? Please tell me, speak to me. But we also got to remember another thing. That in the regular times of our life, when it's not something as horrific as that, we do need to make sure that when we come and pray to God, that we do it with the utmost respect. And we do pay attention to how we come and we speak to God. We just can't be regularly, just be up there and just be like having an attitude. We do need to show a level of respect. But there comes a time when we're in pain and we're in anguish, and God knows where our heart is at, and we're going through something, that God will take your prayer as angry as you want to get it out and as quick as you get down, just as He does when you're in a moment of joy and pure bliss and a miracle, and you jump and you shout and you sing and dance. But we must always remember that any and every time that we come to Him in prayer, that when we come to Him, we are communicating with Him, and that we need to be honest, and we need to give Him that respect of honesty. You wouldn't believe the amount of people who go to God in prayer and lie as if He cannot see, as if He don't already know. Perfect example is Adam and Eve in the garden. Putting on a bush is not going to hide the fact that God can see that. Why are you wearing a bush? You wasn't wearing a bush before, so what made it a point that you would put on this bush and wear this bush? Which they wasn't actually wearing a bush, I'm just saying. It didn't matter if they covered it with leaves or whatever. No matter, it's just like the kid eating that chocolate cake and got the chocolate all over the face. Oh no, I didn't eat no chocolate cake. This Bible tells us over and over again that we must not lie. It's one of the things that just grieves God. Is pretty high up there. Like He has His commandments, thou shalt not do, but there's certain things that just, gives God the ick. It just irks Him. A pet peeve, if you will. Lying is one of those. God never lies. He can't lie. It's not that he won't lie. He can't lie. He is too righteous, and he is too holy, and he is too just to ever have a lie or even a live form of the thought in his mind. And so he asks us to do the same. There's a lot of people that teach that you cannot come to God like that you cannot come to him in anger and in pain. That is a lie. God tells you to come as you are, sick, addicted. I don't care how high you got. If you're about to OD, if you're just filled with so much anger, so much hatred, so much sorrow, so much pain, you're so depressed, it doesn't matter what you are going through, you could come to God and speak to him and he will hear you. But be honest. Complain to him. Doesn't matter how bitter your soul is. Doesn't matter how much hurt you're in, how much pain you have. God loves you and he wants you to seek him. He wants you to come to him. In fact, most people go to this rock bottom for that very sole purpose, for you to come and to seek him. He's waiting on you. And don't worry about what you're going to say or how bad it's going to sound. God has seen it and he has heard it. You can say it. He's already seen it. He already knows. He already knows what you thought. He already knows what your heart feels. He knows what you're going to say. And just because he knows that what you're going to say does not mean, oh, I don't need to say it, because he already knows. No, he wants you to talk to him. One of the best ways to get rid of something that is bothering you is to talk about it. It doesn't matter. You've been thinking it in your mind. It's been in your heart the whole time. But the moment you get it off your mouth, man, it's like it just releases the cap. Starts letting all the steam out. And you'll be surprised. God is the best listener. He is the best comforter. Come to him. He is waiting. He loves you. And he's not going to judge you for all those things. He's going to forgive you for all those things. Because his love for you, he is a God of grace, a God of mercy, a God of forgiveness, and a God of compassion.